Today we will talk about XRP and the ILP and how they are the winning formula.
Having the combination of ILP with XRP, we think that's kind of the killer formula. Yes.
And a lot of this is revolving around the recent attention that DeFi on the XRPL has had, primarily because of MAG. MAG is the new leader of the XRPL. It became the number one DEX on the XRPL and MAG as the number one token. The farming pools are crushing it with impressive APYs. People have been using this in order to grow their holdings of XRP. There's a couple of examples of this that show how 13,000 XRP became 24,500 in under 3 weeks. The MAG to XRP pool had about 81% APR, and I think I saw as high as 100%, if not a bit higher. But it seems as if MAG has attracted so much attention that it has come under an increased amount of scrutiny, and some concern has been expressed in regards to farming pool options. And Smoke has a good point. Waiting for DeFi regulations that is coming out at the end of 2024 is probably a good idea. Chasing abnormally high APYs with no insurance or protection is always a risk. After we get regulatory clarity, institutional DeFi will be completely different than the currently unregulated DeFi. And as to why the XRPL is such a good fit for DeFi, the new Hong Kong Academy of Finance report demonstrates the technical design of DeFi products and services. And if you compare it to Ripple's chart, it lines up extremely well. Ripple technology and the RippleNet serve as a settlement infrastructure layer. Here is the chart in that paper, and here is Ripple, and each of them are explaining essentially the exact same thing. Now, what exactly is ILP?
Our modern world, technology moves at light speed. But why has our financial infrastructure failed to keep up with the pace of change? The Interledger Protocol was created to make sending money across the internet easy. We envisioned a payments network that acts as a bridge between anyone and the entire world. Today, when we send an email, we take it for granted that once we hit send, the email will appear in the recipient's inbox almost instantly. It doesn't matter if you're sending from one email provider to another. It works seamlessly in a matter of seconds, not days. The Interledger Protocol is designed so you can send money as easily as you can send an email. It's a network that reflects our interconnected world, accessible to all, regardless of identity, geography, or income. One that's more inclusive, without minimum transaction amounts or costly transfer fees. The closed networks of the past keep people disconnected. Our mission is to bring our financial infrastructure into the 21st century and give everyone equal access to a global financial network. Email your digital bank or digital wallet provider and ask them to consider joining us to help make the world a more interconnected place.
The ILP depends on pre-existing payment rails. Ripple and the team work with institutions to upgrade payment rails.
Typically, a single payment would be broken up into smaller payment packets, and these packets are secured with execution conditions so they can't be lost or stolen by intermediary connectors. Okay, so let's kind of look at the bottom little diagram I have there, and this is a cross-currency example. So, when I said sometimes cutting out intermediaries reduces delays and costs, there are other times where intermediaries are actually adding value to the system. So if we think of a cross-currency example where a sender wants to send US dollars and a receiver wants to receive rands, and your institution only has dollars and my institution only has rands, then we need an intermediary who has both dollars and rands so that they can take the dollars and send on rands instead. Okay, and basically what we have here with these intermediaries is obviously they will then add on some kind of transaction fee to get something out of this, and they'll have to apply exchange rates and things like that. Okay, so in order to make this kind of communication seamless, because this is what Interledger wants to do, we want to say, I'm sending dollars, but I actually don't care what my recipient wants to receive this value in. If they want rands, great, it shouldn't concern me. And Interledger is trying to solve these problems to make this more simple. So a lot of the layers in the protocol are dealing with questions like, how do we communicate with other connectors on the network? How do we speak the same language and understand each other? How do we ensure that this communication is secure? How do connectors know, like, does the sender actually have sufficient funds to be making this payment? Connectors need to be able to adjust the amount so that they can include their transaction fees or handle exchange rates. We have a lot of routing questions that need to be answered, like if a connector gets a payment packet, how does it know where to send that packet next? How does it know what is the cheapest path to take through the network? And also, we want to make sure that payments never get tied up endlessly wandering through the network, because then your payment would be stuck in a pending state definitely and tie up your liquidity. So we need to make sure as well that payment packets expire. And if they expire, that simply means that that money that was being held in your account is released again and then payment failed. Okay. These are the kinds of problems Interledger is solving. Note that the bottom layer is our settlement layer, and this actually is outside of the Interledger protocol suite. This is where the actual transfer of funds is taking place between ledgers, and Interledger relies on pre-existing payment rails. So that's what banks, peer-to-peer payment schemes are implementing, ACH, blockchain, mobile money institutions, whatever. All right.